There are so many reasons not to have stopped. If you were in this gospel story and saw this man beaten and robbed and lying on the ground, there are so many reasons not to have stopped. I mean, you don't know, you could get sick from touching him. Or maybe it was just going to make you late for something really important. And by Jewish law, if you touched a dead person, you would be ritually impure and kept away from the worship services. And maybe you've got your good clothes on the way to something, you just can't show up all bloodied. Or maybe you could get ambushed yourself. There were obviously robbers in the area, and maybe this was a trap. There are so many reasons not to stop. There are always so many reasons not to stop. Perhaps you recall this news story from a few months ago when a man named Hugo Alberto in New York, an immigrant from Guatemala, tried to help out. Now, money is tight in this economy, and day labor was rare, and Hugo spent many a night living in city parks. And on a Sunday morning in April, he heard a man and a woman having this violent argument. He could tell the woman was trying to get away, and so he ran over to try to help. The man turned, at which point the woman fled, and stabbed Hugo several times in the stomach. Hugo fell into a pile of blood and lay there, and the man fled in the opposite direction. Hugo lay unconscious on the sidewalk for over an hour. And the surveillance cameras showed this, and again, maybe you saw it. Several dozen people walked by without doing anything to help. When someone finally did, it was too late. I'm sure they had plenty of reasons not to get involved, and some of them darn good ones, huh? Some people said later, well, they just thought he was drunk and passed out. Some were just afraid of getting involved because, well, who knows where that might lead, huh? Others, well, we're creating a class of dependent people. And if they would just learn to pick themselves by their own bootstraps, we wouldn't even have this kind of stuff going on. Or maybe they just couldn't afford to get their clothes dirty, they thought. Or there's just so much one person could do. There were 100 reasons not to be involved. Just as there were 100 reasons not to be involved in today's gospel, and just as there will always be 100 reasons not to be involved. Today, someone got it right. It was the Samaritan, the ritually impure, socially outcast, religiously heretical, despised Samaritan. And he did two things right. The first thing was he saw the man. He saw the man as more than a pile of flesh there, and as more than a member of the class that oppressed him and hated him and looked down on him for being a Samaritan. He saw him as his brother, a fellow human being. He saw him, and that's the first thing he did right. He saw him as his brother. And then he did the second thing right. He got involved. There were 100 reasons not to, but he didn't. You and I, again and again, we face the same decision. And there are good reasons not to be involved. Really, we can't always stop. I get that. Really, we can't. And we have to be smart. And yet, sometimes, if our hearts are truly alive in Christ, we will see and we will know that it is ours to get involved. I ask this: haven't you sometimes been the one figuratively on the side of the road? I know I have. Haven't you on some level needed some kind of help? And someone saw you? And even though there were 100 reasons not to get involved, did? I know that I will forever be grateful for those people who, when I was new and scared, welcomed me. To those people who, when I felt insecure, accepted me and loved me. To those people who, when I was sad, showed compassion in their eyes or in their deeds. Forever I will be grateful that they saw me and got involved. And I pray that my whole life going forward, I will be wise enough to see and have a heart open enough to do what I can, even when there are 100 reasons not to. Uh-oh, this doesn't look so good. Big Al, are you okay? Big Al, is it okay if I take the bag off your head? Okay. What's the matter, Big Al? Are you sad? Feel sick. You feel sick? Oh, that's no fun, is it? Yeah, I know, Big Al. Those times that I feel sick, it can be kind of lonely and maybe a little scary. Sad. No, you feel sad. Well, Big Al. Oh, no, Big Al, I know when you're sad, sometimes you just don't feel so good. Just kind of want somebody to be there, huh? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's okay. Gosh, Big Al, it's just kind of what we do, right? Are you scared? Am I scared? Oh, about getting sick? I am a bit of a germaphobe, and as soon as Mass is over, I'm going to so wash my hands, I tell you. But Big Al, it's okay. I mean, it's just what you do. And Big Al, I know that you've helped people out before when they needed help. Here, what? Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's good. Boys and girls, Big Al said that even now when he doesn't feel very well, he's gonna offer that for others and still pray for him as best as he can. Boy. Oh, boys and girls, I bet we've all had times where we didn't feel good and somebody helped us out, or maybe we were scared and somebody welcomed us, or we were in trouble and somebody helped us. And you know what? It's your job to love the world that way too.